Hey guys, so today what we're going to be doing is, now that I've got the turbo out, it is time to rebuild the thing. You can send out the CT20B for a rebuild and they'll port it and all that kind of thing, but I decided to go with the DIY route and save myself a little bit of money. It's probably about half the cost to do it myself and then send it out to get balanced. So this video is going to be just how to rebuild and upgrade the CT20B / CT26 turbos. They're pretty much the same anyways, if not exactly the same. I don't really know what the difference is much, to be honest. And just going to be continuing the build. This thing is getting a Link G4 plug and play standalone very shortly. Once I upgrade the injectors and fuel pump, send out the fuel rail to get bored out, then it'll be ready for the slightly upgraded turbo. We're not going for a ton of power here, so that's why I'm just going this route instead of getting a much bigger, much more expensive turbo, because really just trying to hit like that 300 wheel horsepower mark. So yeah. So as you can see, the compressor side is actually very damaged, probably from running aftermarket air filters for so many years. I also don't really know the age of this thing. And then on the turbine side, this is a ceramic wheel. And the problem with a ceramic wheel is, yes, they're very light, spool up very nicely, but they do tend to explode when you are pushing the turbo to its limits. So I went ahead and upgraded to the high flow steel version of that. You can see that there, and hopefully that will give us a little bit of a performance increase and be able to hold a little bit more boost at high RPM. The compressor wheel that we have going in has extended tips on it, and what the benefit of that is again, same thing, higher flow and can push a little bit more CFMs, and it's also not fucked up like the old ones, so that's also a benefit. And upgraded Mamba wastegate actuator, and again, the benefit of the benefit of this is that you can actually run more boost, because the stock actuator tends to open on its own, and the actuator here, this little door to bypass the exhaust gases, is something that we do not want to open, and the stock one tends to be somewhat weak, forcing this open, and then you lose boost, therefore hindering performance. So we're going to upgrade that with this actuator. There are different springs that you can put in, different spring tensions. I don't know which ones to put in for what pressures, but we will sort that out when the time comes. That is left-hand thread, probably, I'm guessing. There we go. Well, that was actually pretty easy. Hey. Oh. Oh, interesting. So I think I can just slide this out. Cool. Something we need to pay attention to. There's a little ring here inside of this. So that's got to go back in. Now you can use a carb throttle body cleaner, which is basically just carb clean. Gets rid of all that carbon shit you can see. It just comes right off. Alright, so first things first. There is a ring that goes on here on the exhaust side. For the next bearing, get some assembly lube. Using assembly lube, you can use pretty much anything you want, but I just had some assembly lube left over from previous engine builds and whatnot, so I prefer to just use that. It's a little bit, it's pretty sticky and it just stays really nice, so when I send it out to get balanced, I don't have to worry about whether or not they oil it or anything like that. Like that assembly lube will just kind of be in there. Next is this part. Goes on top of the bearing. And then the thrust washer. You want to make sure this slit is facing downward and not this way, because this oil port here will direct oil. Probably you can see a little hole inside here. There's a little hole in there and it's connected here, so you want to have that facing down for the oil pressure to come in through here. So we're going to flip that over, get it all lubed up, and then we will put it in. There we go. Next up is this. And there is a ring here. Remember that? So we just got to put this on. You can use your fingers for something like this. Just put it on gently, kind of clip it with your fingers. Now that's on there. And then this will go this way. This goes inside here. You put this in, put it straight, and then pop it down.
And that chamfered edge there should guide the ring into where it's supposed to go. And you just don't want to push it. See? It pushed it back. That's not what we want. Okay, I'm going to try to push this up. You gotta be careful because I only have one of these. Fuck. Okay, that looks like it should go in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so you just gotta kind of rock it back and forth a little bit. And then we can put this on. It's a little bit tricky, but after you get this part in, make sure you put the ring on. You put this on, and it's a little bit tricky, but it has to sit on this inside groove. So you just gotta kind of put it in, and it doesn't quite fall into place right away, so you just gotta kind of fiddle with it and just push the edge in, and then it'll kind of snap into place like that. Okay, so we're gonna lube this up, get this O-ring nice and oily. Okay, and this part needs to stick down in here, I'm guessing, because it wouldn't go any other way. So you just take this, line that up with the bottom, and pop it in. Probably just gotta push it in. There we go. Yeah. Okay, that one worked a lot better. It's like cone shaped a little bit, and I'm sure it'll do just as good of a job. Okay, so we got this. See the new bearing at the back? I didn't bother replacing the snap ring at the very bottom. But yeah, I guess we just gotta slide this in now. Yeah, so the inside has a bit of a slope to it, so you should just need to slide it in gently. And then that ring will compress itself. Just be careful that it doesn't hang up, just give it a little push. And make sure it's well lubed, and then it just pops in like that. Done. Excellent. Now we can put the other side on, and it's going to look beautiful. Is there anything else I needed to put on? I think that was it. So now we're just going to slide the new billet wheel on. Oh yeah, that's very nice. It's a little bit tight, so I'm just going to rotate it as I slide it on the rest of the way. And it fits perfectly in that groove. Excellent. Wow. This is going to be awesome. I'm excited. And this comes with a nut to thread this on. And it is left-handed, remember? Let's put it on the other way. And it doesn't need to be that tight. They're going to balance it anyways. They'll probably loosen the nut and maybe rotate the positioning to balance it, or they might just shave the nut. But we'll go ahead and tighten that up. Now, in case you're wondering, if you don't have a metric equivalent, because I don't, it is a 9/32 nut or wrench that you need to tighten the nut. And in general, you don't need to go crazy on this. Just hold the back with your hand, and you should be able to just kind of tighten it about a quarter turn. Now, when I took the old one off, it wasn't that tight. So, and when the turbo's spinning anyways, like there's almost no way that it can come loose on you. So, I mean, you don't have to put a lot of torque on it. You just got to give it a twist and you'll kind of feel it tighten up, and then that's it. Done. Now you can put the housing on. Just so we know how it looks. Probably put the housing on. Oh yeah, that's gonna look good. Damn. And it fits, which is good. That was something I was a little worried about. But yeah, that's gonna be fucking sweet. I'm excited. Alright, so what do we got here? We got the exhaust side of the turbo, and I just painted it. It's just drying now with a iron header paint. It's like a ceramic coating, but it just makes the part look like it's brand new again. I kind of like doing that with stuff. And then over here we got the compressor side of the turbo, and I am doing that in a wrinkle red coating, and it's also high temp, and it's pretty good. Then I'm also pulling the exhaust manifold. Not that the engine bay looks, you know, amazing or anything, but I just want to freshen this up a little bit, so definitely going to be painting that as well. And yeah, so I will see you guys next time, and I hope that this was educational enough for you. And sorry that we you know, weren't around for 2 years, but you know, life happens, and yeah, so see you next time.